see we'll kind of play the hot hand at the right time, and early in the season we're going to experiment, see where it plays out. And I thought that Tommy came in, obviously made a big difference. I thought Luke had a good stint as well. So no, not renaming anything. That's not like the role that we're necessarily looking for Tommy. It was just that they rolled it out tonight.
Collins' work rate is, obviously terrific tonight. Just how much does he add to the kind of final third?
Yeah, Collins has been obviously a home run for us. His athleticism, as you can see, is special. His defensive work rate is what we look for, and obviously when we looked and scouted, we saw those qualities, and he's even farther ahead, honestly, with his defensive principles and his ability to kind of blend into what we're trying to do in our press. We're not pressing, his angles are really good, he's had really good coaching, and the guys just love him. He's just a really fun personality. So it's nice to see him get a goal. He's going to be a big part of our attack this year, whether we use him inside, wide, we're still trying to figure it out.
Compared to like other freshmen that come in, how much more further along is he than a normal freshman?
He's pretty far along. Of the freshmen that I've got to coach, he's in that top tier of ones that whether they last 10, 15 years are on, going back to his assistant, he's in that top category.
Felt like you were pushing Brett a lot up and trying to get him more into the final third. Of course, you lose Nick, who kind of was that piece last year. Is that kind of what you want to do, and it kind of at times left it with more of a back three for counterattack? Is that kind of what you plan on doing?
Yeah, I mean, we always extend and get our wide backs in the attack, depending maybe on the opponent, which side maybe a little heavier. Yeah, we don't sit with that back four and not sending, as you've seen with our team. So, yeah, we quickly morph into a three. Sometimes both our wing backs are in the final third in the box. I love that. I think tonight we had a chance where it was one back play to the other one, and we sealed the box really well. But Brett's on his right side. That's why I'm really excited if we can keep him there, because there's so much he can offer going forward. He's been really good to the left. He's one of the better defenders, and you can count on him. He's got great experience for us now. But I think down this right side, getting him to be a little more aggressive is something we wanted to do. It'll depend on who's in the left. I mean, if we're getting a lot down the left, then we're not going to necessarily jam it and force beat me. But I think he tonight, I thought, picked and chose his moments well. And didn't overplay it, but also played with good.
I want to take you back to 2017. You played an exhibition game here against Louisville where you won 3-1. I don't know how much you remember that, but kind of similar to tonight, you had a ton of offense where you used, I think it was Griffin Dorsey and Mason Toy at that point to break away for a bunch of goals. You get kind of similar tonight with the offense. How much does the attack up top of like Aduro and Mahalik and Sarver remind you like that Dorsey, Toy, Renix thing up top where you can just run teams over the top, and score a bunch? I remember the crowd's reaction was like, finally, because you had a struggle to score in 2016, and then you see this in the exhibition game where you have this breakaway, and you kind of saw that tonight. How much does that trio kind of remind you of that for this year, and how excited are you with that?
I mean, we're excited about this group. Obviously, we've had Sammy and Tommy and Maloon is a big part of our team the last 3 years, and Collins is just that one little new piece with obviously Carson's, I think, in a good place, to name a few of the returners. That's exciting. One player can make a difference to be able to move players around, and also just unbalance in different ways. And Collins is going to get other guys some goals. He's going to be able to draw attention. He's a good final passer. You saw it tonight. He had one or two passes that were, Sammy just kind of hopped over his foot, but that was probably should have been a touch and a finish in the goal, and I thought it was really well placed and well timed. So yeah, I mean that's a different team, a couple of different skill sets, but the explosiveness, there's some similarities, yes, and there's some speed. We can get behind teams certainly with this team, but I also like that we can play through teams. And I thought we had a good mix tonight of doing that against a team that pressed hard, so they didn't really give you a lot of time. It was the antithesis of Friday against Wright State.
It seemed like in Wright State in that game you guys played a lot in the offensive half. Here early on it looked like Bowling Green had some pressure. Was there an adjustment that you guys made to kind of take that pressure off?
Well, the way they lined up. I mean, this is a really aggressive pressing team, so we knew that. We played against Bowling Green the game is going to have a little bit of up and down, both teams. It's a bit of like a territorial second ball game at times. And then you play through when you can, and hold kind of some front half territory to kind of stretch them out, and then obviously look for some diagonals. But they're 3/5 back. You got to ask some tough questions, and when you're in your initial phase in your build, it is hard to play through any of the early lines. So you had to go a little bit more direct to the lines. I thought we did well when we went into the body. When we went a little bit more for a head ball challenge, they're very good in the back, in the air. We needed to spin them a little bit more or play in front of our attackers. So some of that I think was we were trying to just miss-hit some passes tonight. But yeah, I love this competition tonight because it's way different than what we played Friday. We'll play some teams that will sit in, just like Wright State, and we'll play some teams just like this. So when we build our preseason schedule, this is what we kind of hope for. Different than Louisville will be kind of a mix of a little bit more explosive, individual, but we'll press and get after it as well.
Speaking of Louisville, that's where the College Cup is this year. How much pressure, first of all, how much pressure do you feel to get there knowing you could actually win it locally? With the last time that happened when your father retired in 2003 and sent him out in the snowstorm as a winner. So how much pressure do you feel to get to the College Cup this year knowing you can bring a lot of fans with you, which doesn't normally happen? And with it being in Louisville, how come you used to play Louisville during the regular season? It's been now more exhibition. Why was that switch?
Right now we've been working to get Louisville in the regular season. It's a great last game in preseason, so you're always looking for a game that you feel like could be a tournament team. It's just the way it's played out. We will try to get them on the regular season schedule, no doubt. We've been working on it. With regards to Final Fours, I can't even get past tomorrow. Honestly, I'm not doing that. I do know where the Final Four is. That's cool. It's in Louisville, but do I feel pressure? No. I'm just trying to get these guys ready for the opener and see what we can do.
Patrick McDonald had some pretty effective through balls today, helped with those goals. What was your reaction to that? Is that something that he's sort of developing?
Yeah, I thought Pat had a really good game. We've asked him to be more assertive going forward, and he did that tonight. He was not only doing that off the ball in some of his runs. He got a couple in behind, a couple he should have gotten. The ball should have gotten him behind, but his range is amazing. So his engine, he can make a few more runs that other guys might have to think about or calculate. He has it in his gas tank just to go. And the final pass, like the ball to Tommy, 2 passes tonight were fantastic. We need him to get some assist and goals. That was the challenge for him, and I think if he does that, we know what Patty can be one of the top midfielders in the country if he continues to elevate his game, and we're pushing him hard to do that.
Time for a couple more. Just quickly, any spots in the field you're still kind of evaluating?
Well, we're certainly, the left back's been a really fun evaluation with Barger and Joel. Joel got his first minutes tonight. I thought he did a good job. Obviously came off a little bit of an injury in preseason. That will be an ongoing evaluation. I think both are showing to do well. Center back, Hugo's done very well. Jansen in his best form. We know Joey, so I think we have a really nice combination of 3 for 2 there. And then in the middle of midfield, we have Patty and Jack returning. You saw Logan and Scheffler played in there a little bit tonight. I think those are 2 kind of guys that are kind of fighting to see where they can help in that rotation. And then, in the midfield, the wide spaces, I think a lot of it will be, it's going to be harder to crack in as a new player outside of Collins. And then from there, we're still looking at, we saw like a Clay tonight. He's got some quality to run off the post. He's got some talent. We're not quite sure how quickly that will come, but it's the spots. Those are 2 wide guys and our 2 spots in the back. So I feel good that we have good quality to fill in, but we're still early.
It feels like Collins and Sam almost kind of have the similar comp as if with their speed, and we saw them kind of swarming the goalkeeper. Of course, Sam scored against Clemson last year. Do you expect to play them maybe at the same time because you're still trying to figure out the front, or kind of maybe you want to rotate knowing they both kind of are similar in that way?
Central together or just together in the front?
Either.
Yeah, they'll be on the field at the same time. Whether they'll play central together or Sam wide or Collins wide, we're not sure yet. Balloons obviously can play in those spots too. That's what's so nice. We've been able to get some of our returners in so many different locations so that they're comfortable. They know how to press out. They know what movements we like. Maloon's a great example of that. I do see Maloon more central and higher. Like we used him more of last part of the season. Carson, obviously, that's kind of his one spot that he can help us. And then moving the other pieces around, Luke is pretty versatile where he can play as well. But yeah, I think with the 1v1 ability and the stretching of Sammy and Collins in the field at the same time, that's going to be, a great asset for us.
Close it there.
Yep.